What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Today was a great day. What a way to have a Monday. No stress, no strain. Learned a lot from reading and watching videos and things like that. Had a good day. So, did everybody else have a good day? What was your day like? What did you experience? Most importantly, what was your lesson? So today, I would honestly say that my lesson has to do with being socially awkward. And I want to talk a little bit about what that means. So I have kind of been, over the last few months, have been thrust into several different situations, and I have felt like sometimes I didn't know what to say. Sometimes I kind of feel like I was, tripping over my words and things like that. And I remember making a comment to the young lady who was training me that, I said it feels weird being this old and also feeling socially awkward. And she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I am too." And she was just like, it was just an extension of who she is, because, she just doesn't feel like she, is not, I guess. She feels like she's socially awkward too, not really knowing what to say sometimes. And I guess in a sense that's true, because sometimes she and I will be talking and she'll just get real quiet and just kind of look at me, and I guess it's because she doesn't really know what to say. So to me, it's a little bit more in depth than that. The weird thing is, so take this weekend for example, we had our school's homecoming, high school homecoming, and my class was out there representing, class of 87. Woo woo. We had a blast. And there were several instances of people walking up to me, and I was coming in contact with them and things like that, and I recognized their face, but I just didn't remember their name, or I didn't recognize their face, and then when they told me that what their name was, I was like, oh, okay. Sometimes I got it and sometimes I didn't. And it's just, I guess if you think about it from the perspective of the fact that our class was huge, I think we had like 380 some odd students in our graduating class. And then you consider the fact that when we came in as freshmen, we knew the senior class that was leaving. And then, of course, as freshmen, you got your 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. You just have a mix of people, and it's just a lot of people. Some people, like when I say they knew everybody then and they know everybody now, you could be talking about somebody very specific and mention a few characteristics about that person, and we have people in our class that know exactly who you're talking about. And it's weird. They remember teachers' names, and I'm like, I don't remember all of that. I don't know how y'all keeping all that in your head, because I don't remember all of that. Now, some teachers I do remember, like Mr. Kiki, which I got a chance to see him at the game when our graduating class, walked the field. And I was so glad to see him, because somebody had told me at one point that he passed away. So I was so excited. I mean, I climbed all up on the railing and everything just to give him a hug, because I thought he was gone. That man impacted my life in such a way, because I was just that kid that just, a lot of people knew who I was, and I didn't necessarily know who they were. Part of it had to do with the fact that I was in ROTC. Part of it had to do with the fact that, my brother was 2 years ahead of me, and people knew that was my brother. Different things like that. But anyway, I was really a person who spent a lot of time alone, and he picked up on that. So he used to always do and say things that was very encouraging to me. Another teacher that I remember was Miss Ross, and that's because Miss Ross is getting me in trouble with my daddy. I told y'all that story, because that's when I met my best friend. I just think social awkwardness is a real situation, and not everybody experiences it. Some people experience it and they're able to manage it better than others. I seem to be struggling in that area because when I'm at work, I think part of that too is that, if I don't like something, it's not always appropriate to say that. It depends on the situation, and I think that's also one of the reasons I feel kind of out of place, because I'm not used to holding my tongue the way that I have to at work. And it's almost like it matters what people think of you, because I'm not trying to be the resident itch. I don't want to be labeled that way, but I think that I've been in different situations where things they have really gotten under my skin, but I just haven't said anything. And so then I just have to kind of decide whether it's important to say anything or whether you just kind of let it go. How is saying something going to improve the situation, I guess is what you have to ask yourself. So because of the fact that I haven't been able to answer that question, I just choose to be silent. Now, if we're talking about a matter of being disrespectful, that's something else. But if they're just doing things that I don't care for, if it's not keeping me from doing my job, then I'm just like, whatever. I don't like it, but it's not going to make me keel over and die. So anyway, do any of y'all find yourself in a socially awkward situation, or not even that? Do you find yourself in a very normal social situation but you feel awkward? Which to me is two different things, because sometimes your socially awkward situations can be a matter of somebody saying something that's inappropriate. Like, say for example, I had a coworker and I had to pull her to the side because I was like, you just out there. One time we were talking and she was loud and ghetto. Our desks were like literally right across the aisle from each other, and she would laugh and say something, and she hauled off and said something about her, and I'm gonna say it exactly what she said. She said something made her ass itch, and I'm talking about when she said it, it was loud, and she didn't care if other people heard her. And I'm just sitting there going, some things are funny, and even if she'd have said it and I laughed, but she didn't say it that loud, the reason I didn't laugh is because she was just way too loud, and I just felt like she pulled other people into the conversation, and everybody don't need to know why you're saying that, because one, it was an inappropriate conversation for other people to be hearing anyway. It was something between she and I. It wasn't my business, it was her business, but I just didn't feel like everybody needed to be a part of the conversation. You don't have to be all loud and just, I didn't like that at all. So to me, that was a socially awkward situation. A normal social situation could be just that, you're in a public speaking forum, and after the event, people are approaching you, asking you questions and saying things to you, and you're not really sure how to respond or how to interact with these people. Even if you're not the speaker, maybe you're a guest, attendee, or whatever, and people are talking to you about the topic that you just heard, and you're not really sure what to say, so you begin to say things, and in your mind it's coming out clear, but then the puzzled look on people's faces is an indication that you're talking gibberish. That has happened to me too, and then I'll have to ask my husband later on, what did I say? He said, he'll say, tell me what it sounded like I said, or it's like, that's my wingman. Because sometimes if I'm in a social situation that's really supposed to be normal, and I'm so nervous that it becomes awkward for me, sometimes I'll talk and I might not remember exactly what I said. And so he'll be, my wingman, and sometimes if he sees that I'm just kind of talking in circles or whatever because I'm so nervous that I done blacked out, like mentally blacked out, he'll step in and he'll either change the subject or he'll do something to kind of bring me back around. But it's rough sometimes. That's what my nerves do to me. Sometimes I get so nervous because I want to make a good impression, or because maybe the attention has been put on me, and I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like the spotlight to be on me. I don't mind being involved in something that's going on, and most of the time I thrive better when I'm not the focus of what's going on. So there have been times like at work when I'm in meetings and things like that, and in the middle of the meeting a topic will come up, and then I'll hear my name, and I instantly, like, my heart will just like jump real fast and be fluttering and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, Lord have mercy, am I gonna have to talk? What is she calling my name? Why is she calling my name? And it may be a situation that I'm very knowledgeable about, but have never had to discuss it in a group setting. Maybe it was like a one-on-one or something like that with my boss, and I was cool. So those are my issues, and so I'm just curious to know, as a person who deals with those types of situations, what did you do? How did you overcome being socially awkward, or learning how to thrive in socially awkward situations? So if you're not a socially awkward person, but you find yourself in awkward social situations, but you manage to get through it, what is it that you do? Like, do you have a technique, or do you count? Do you recite Bible scriptures? Like, what do you do? So I would love to know that, because people can tell when I'm nervous. Sometimes people who they genuinely care about me, what they'll do is, if they see that I'm having a hard time or whatever, and I may be having a hard time, but my mouth is not open at all. It could be that somebody has said something that kind of brought attention to me being there. I may not have to speak at all, but because of the fact that people are looking at me, and I guess in anticipation of me saying something, I start I don't hyperventilate or anything like that. You can just tell because my skin starts to get flushed. And so I've had, I actually had somebody call me out in a meeting like that, and, girl, you red as a beet, and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so you just gonna add insult to injury. Yes, I'm red as a beet. I'm flushed because I'm nervous. And now I'm even more nervous because you drawing attention to the fact that, my skin color has changed, and I'm just, I'm over here looking like I'm about to pass out. So it's like, really? That's how you gonna do me, right? So people who've gotten to know me and know that that's what happens, if there's somebody in our circle that is not familiar with that little quirk about me, they'll try to, if they bring it up or whatever, they'll try to change the subject or distract them or whatever, just on, good merit or whatever. And so I'm thankful for that, but I don't know what your girl gonna do. We got issues over here. But I truly believe that this situation is time, because I wasn't always like this. I have always been nervous in these different situations and settings and stuff like that. But it didn't manifest itself in me being flushed. So I'm not really, like I said before, I truly, truly, truly believe that it is directly linked to menopause and maybe my estrogen level. I take my medicine and I feel fine or whatever, but I don't know. And then too could be age. I ain't asked y'all to comment. I'm just saying it could be age, but we gonna leave that alone. So anyway, y'all let me know, what you think about how to manage these types of events in your life, and whether you feel like it's something that, I can just expect to deal with through the course of my life, or do you think that this is something that I'll be able to figure out how to maybe learn like techniques or whatever to deal with it? Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear, what your feedback is, because your girl is seriously trying to find a resolve, because this is just crazy. I've never experienced anything like this before, and it's just odd to me. So anyway, I'm headed out because I've had I don't really want to call it a mishap, but basically what's happened is my external hard drive has stopped responding, and I've tried doing all these different things, and nothing is working. So I'm headed out now to see if I can get another cord. And I don't think what I picked up is the proper wiring, so I think it may still not be, my computer still may not be reading it because I don't have the right cable. So that's where I'm going now. I'm actually going to buy me another external hard drive, but I'm also going to buy me a cable. I think I may have to bring it in for them to try to recover it, and I'm really nervous, y'all, because this external hard drive has over 20 years worth of data on it, and I honestly cannot afford to lose the stuff that's on here. And so I think I'm gonna have to turn all the way around. Y'all hold on, because I didn't come. Oh crap, there it is. Shoot, I don't know where I'm driving, y'all. I was going the right way. Oh well. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.